Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited for today. I keep having random podcast ideas, and if I don't get them out, they just go away. And so we're doing 2 episodes this week, and we're also going to give you some life updates. So I have been sprinkling crumbs around about this, but I am moving to New York in 4 days. 3 days probably by the time you listen to this, or maybe even less. And you know what? I haven't really talked about it a lot. I've just been in the swing of things in August. I am currently producing 2 new offers, the Audacity Challenge, which I'm going to talk about, and then Audacious, which is coming in September, which is the bread and butter. Audacious is everything that my business has been leading up to. It is going to be a course all about how to become that person who is full-time, unwavering confidence. Their confidence turns heads, open opportunities, allows them to audaciously put themselves out there. And it's everything that I really did to go from someone who really second-guessed myself into who I am today and hitting all the goals and taking really fast, audacious action, which is what this is about. And so life updates just in general, moving to New York. You know what? People keep DMing me when I sprinkle little comments about it, asking if I'm sad, what I'm feeling. And you know, it's bittersweet, but I also know a lot is good that's coming. I've lived in San Francisco for 3 years, which is the longest time I've lived anywhere since graduating college, which is crazy. I'm just someone who I like moving around a lot. I like new adventures. I like change, which is kind of funny, but I know a lot of people don't. And so I'm really excited. And I'm honestly distracting myself all of September. So in September, I will be the first month I'm there, but then I'm going to a beach house on Labor Day. I'm going to see my best friend he goes to law school in Tulane, but he's from New York. And so he's going home. So I'll see him the second weekend. And then the third weekend, my other best friend is coming. And then, are you ready? This whole episode is really just about this. Not really, but then I'm going to see Drake. And if you know me, or you might not know this, it might be top secret things, but this is kind of embarrassing. My number one played artist for every single year since Spotify has been releasing number one played artists is Drake. I am in Drake's 0.1%, or it's like 0.5% of top listeners. It doesn't matter how big Taylor Swift gets, Drake is still going to be my number one. And again, it's a little embarrassing, but you know what? We're all for it. I'm going to be belting every lyric there is. And so I'm excited about that. And then the last weekend I go to Boston and I see my siblings, and I have 2 siblings, and I haven't been with all 9 members of my family in the same place for 3 years. Technically, one was just born a couple months ago, so 8. But either way, I haven't been with all of them at the same time in 3 years, and so I'm so excited. And so if you haven't noticed, the goal in September is to keep me distracted so that I don't notice I live on a new coast. But the thing that I want to talk about this episode is really about trusting the big, scary ideas you have. And I think it's perfect to talk about New York and moving to New York with this episode, because I had known that I would probably move to New York for a while because I'm moving with my boyfriend. We are excited. We are nervous to live with a boy. And I've lived with my current roommate on and off for the last 7 years. She's my best friend, my ride or die. And so it's really scary to be leaving the safety of her and going to live with a man, but that's okay. And so I've known for a while that I was going to move to New York, likely because of this relationship, but it came far sooner than I expected. And a huge reason that I was so willing and I really jumped on it is because a couple weeks before I made the decision, I'm thinking about my dad, who's editing my podcast for me, and he's going to hear this and be like, this kid is wild. But it's because I was envisioning the next level of myself and all the things that I want to create and who I want to be and the standards I'm going to set for myself. And something that I wasn't expecting to come through was that version of me lived in New York City. And I've lived in New York before. I knew I'd go back, but I wasn't expecting that. And so within 2 weeks, I made the decision, we're going to New York. And if some people are like, you had this one vision and that's fucking crazy that you're just going to make this decision and that's silly and all the things, maybe. But here's what I really want you, don't get hung up on specifics. What I really want you to take from what I'm saying here is that when I have a hit of something come through or a vision for what I want, when I have a strong desire, I take that shit seriously. I really trust myself and I go for it. And my friend was talking to me the other day and describing this, and I think it's just such a perfect way to say it, is she said that I'm very good at leaping before there's a net. And I think that's what this is really all about, is how do you become someone who, as soon as you know you have these big desires, you leap before there's a net. And I do want to caveat that there is a level of privilege and resources that have to happen for example, this move. And I also want to say that, it's easier for me to move. I don't have a family. I don't have as much things in place. But again, I don't want you to get hung up on the specifics of the move, and more, how can you leap before there's a net and really fully go all in on your desires? And if you haven't already, let me quickly just say, if you want to become someone who's really taking their big audacious ideas and getting right on that action with it, you should join my Audacity Challenge, which is a $77 video bundle. And it's pretty much 20 plus videos of little actions, but super effective actions at that, I first took to build my confidence back when I decided that I didn't want to feel the way I felt anymore. I didn't want to feel powerless. I didn't want to feel small. I didn't want to play small. And it's the actions that I took to become who I am today and that I still use today. And you know what? I built this because these actions and tricks and shifts and tips that are in the Audacity Challenge that you can watch in that video bundle, because the conventional confidence advice fell flat. Therapy, as much as I am a proponent of it, it didn't make a dent in my confidence for years, and it didn't matter the amount of self-help books I read. I'd be a little inspired, but I'd still walk away like, but how do I build confidence? And so I figured out myself, and everything that I figured out is in the Audacity Challenge. All the actions I took, all the little things. And again, it's still the things I use today. What is in the Audacity Challenge is what I just use to have over a $40,000 cash month in, what month was it? I don't know, last month, July. And so it's such insane value. And again, it's only $77. And I'm actually going to be doing it live with you in September, which means not only do you get the video bundle and the workbook and all that comes with it, but you also get to do it with me live, where in September you can get coached by me for $77, which is, you're not going to find that again. So if you want this, if this episode is speaking to you, if the couple of past episodes have spoken to you, if you just even like me a little bit, you should definitely get in there, because it is going to be so, so good. So powerful. That $77 has changed my clients' lives. And they tell me that, and they do it over and over and over. It's not just a video bundle you watch once, you do it over and over as much as you need. That's what I do. So you should definitely get in. It's in the show notes. So go get in real quick. Go. And what I want to talk about with today's episode, though, is the thing that I want you to try and do and get on board with is no longer have this gap between knowing you want something and going all in on it. Because something that I see happen a lot is that we know that we have, I'll see clients or people who they have these desires and then they sit on them. Or they have these desires and they kind of go in on them. Or they have these desires and they listen to what everyone else says that they should do, which just delays them getting their desires, instead of trusting themselves and going all in on them. And what it does when you're doing any of these things, whether you're sitting on them, you're going a little bit in, but not all the way in, or trusting someone else, is you're hurting your self-concept. It hurts your self-concept. And I don't want you doing that anymore. I don't want you hurting your self-concept anymore. And I'm currently in a season right now where it is my self-concept or bust. Like, I am not accepting, taking, tolerating anything that makes me feel a little less than perfect or ideal or whatever it is about myself, whether it's a thought that I'm having, whether it's a conversation, whether it's how I'm spending my time. Like, I'm cutting all of it, and you just watch is going to pay off. But I don't want you doing that, because here's the thing, when you know that you have these big audacious desires and you're not going for them, you're teaching yourself that you probably don't think you're worthy of them. And when you have these big audacious desires, but you're only kind of going in, you're usually self-sabotaging and basically building the idea that you don't believe that you can get them. Or if you have these big audacious desires and then you're trusting someone else, you're teaching yourself that others are more trustworthy than yourself when you need the self-trust, when you need to reclaim that self-concept and basically get back the idea of, I can do this. I can trust myself. And that is so much of what we're going to be talking about in Audacious, very similar name, but not the same thing. Audacious, which is my course that is coming in September, which is truly everything that my business has been leading up towards. It's going to just help you become the person who has head-turning confidence, where your confidence opens up opportunities and you can audaciously always put yourself out there, whether dating, life, career, relationships, business. Ooh, it's going to be good. It is going to be good. And also, you get lifetime access to that program, and I'm going to be doing calls every single month. So you still get to chat with me and talk with me and do all the things, even though it's a course. So that's going to be amazing. But I just want you to reclaim that self-concept, because if there's one thing I know, and here's what I didn't want to do to myself, I don't want to sit on my desires. I won't do it anymore. I just won't. If I knew that I had the desire to move to New York and then I don't do anything about it, that's teaching me that there's something wrong there. And again, I just went through what a couple of reasons could be. And I've done that. I've done that. Because if I know what I want, which I do, I am going to go after it. There's no reason to sit on it. Because again, it really fucking sucks. And I did it for years. I did it for so long, and I can't do it anymore. Is that I will not know that I want something and not go after it. Because it just creates, like, I feel it right now. It creates this sense of like longing for something and wishing and hoping and desiring, mixes with this feeling of powerlessness because you're not letting yourself fully go after it. And there may be very, very legitimate reasons why you're not going after it, whether more privilege or access to resources and things like that. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. But I want to also be clear where we're just getting in our own way because of self-belief, or because we're allowing things to hurt our self-concept. And so one of the things that I really want you to look for today is, where am I having these big desires and not having my action match the audacious desire? So I want to make sure you are taking audacious action equal to that audacious dream that you have. And so I want you to look on that and just ask yourself, why am I not going all in? Why am I not trusting myself? And if it's something like, I need proof, or I have so much, it didn't work out in the past, or how can I know it's going to be different? Or, I feel like I'm carrying the past with me, the past fears, whatever. I want you to, one, come join the Audacity Challenge, because we're going to work through that. Then join Audacious, because we're going to work through that even more there. But start to find proof that you can trust yourself anyway, and start to take the action. And here's the thing, you don't need all this proof. You don't need anything except to take the next step. You just need to put one foot in front of the other and work through the fears along the way. And again, this is something that we're doing in all of my containers. And it's okay if you are getting frustrated and hung up and all of the things. I personally, I'm experiencing that right now. So I have really big goals where I've talked about this with my clients a little bit in my containers, but I have big goals, but I will not hit them at the cost of scaling unlimited or doing certain things. And so one of the ways I have to hit these big goals is being more visible. And so your girl is on TikTok, and you can go and follow me on TikTok using the link in the show notes. But it's a part of my bigger plan. And almost every day I want to quit TikTok. I like being instantly good at things, and when I'm not, I struggle just like the next person. I have to keep going though, because it's a part of my big desires. I'm not going to quit because it's uncomfortable. And the thing that I want you to sit with is and again, this is a big thing too that we talk about in all my containers, but if it's the discomfort between, for example, posting on TikTok and not feeling like I'm doing a good job, whatever. If it's between the discomfort of that kind of growth or the discomfort of not going after my goals, I'm always going to choose the discomfort of growth. And that's a decision that I want you to make. And so look where you're not having your action match your desires with the audacity and the level of bigness and magic and all of the things with it. But Also ask yourself, why am I more willing to sit in the discomfort of staying where I am than the discomfort of growth? And I want you listening to this episode to make the commitment that you will no longer just sleep on yourself. You won't sit on your dreams. You won't do that anymore. I want you to build the audacity, the trust to go all in and not have to keep experiencing the discomfort of knowing you want something, but not going all in or going half in or not going after it all or trusting other people when what they say to go after it versus yourself. I want you to reclaim all of that in your self-concept and go for it. You can do it. You can trust yourself. There's nothing naive about trusting yourself. There's nothing bad about failing. It doesn't mean shit if you don't get it. It just means it's not the end. I really want you to sit with that. And so if you are ready to go all in, if you're ready to take audacious action and build your confidence and step into that audacious identity, I want you to go to the show notes and join the Audacity Challenge. I want you to come in this challenge and do the 20 plus actions with us from September 1st through September 21st, where we are taking action together to step into that identity, to get out of your own way, to stop self-sabotaging, to stop playing small, to stop overthinking, and instead get into the audacious action that matches your audacious dreams. And then after, in September, the course Audacious is launching. We're going to get you more info on that. And if you're listening to this episode far down the line from now, and this is an old episode, you can still join the Audacity Challenge. You can still join the link. It's still right there. We might not be doing it live right at the moment, but it's still so worth it for those 20 plus videos. It changes people's lives. My clients have never done this live with me. This is just what they're doing right now when I'm releasing this, but they've done just the videos and it's changed their lives. They've gotten their highest paying jobs. They've had their biggest launches in their business to date. They have started saving for dreams that they've sat on for years. They pitched themselves to opportunities. They finally let themselves go after what they want. And this one breaks my heart in the best way. I had one of my clients reach out to me who did this, and she said, I am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. My marriage is better. I am enjoying my kids more. I've just never been so happy. And it's because of these 20-some videos. And so you can get that for $77. So go jump in that. And again, Audacious is coming after, but I want you to go all in. I want you to stop wanting these dreams, stop wanting to be confident, and we are going to get you there together. So hopefully you like this episode. I know it's a little chaotic last minute, but go all in, join the Audacity Challenge, look out for Audacious, and we're going to get you there together. Okay, bye friends.